Hello and welcome to Stationeers. I'm Lorex. Today we're venturing to Mimas, Saturn's icy little moon. It's small, it's cold, and surviving here will test our engineering skills like nowhere else. Our main objective for this mission? Designing an intelligent power system. We want a system that uses the grid when it's producing enough power and sends any excess to charge our batteries. When the grid isn't enough, we'll rely on the batteries to keep our station alive. Efficiency, balance, and redundancy. These are what will let us thrive in this harsh environment. If you love strategic station designs, power management challenges, and engineering solutions that actually work, then this is going to be for you. Let's get started. And we've landed here on Mimas. Wow, what a sight. Alright, let's get going. And let me go ahead and turn on my flashlight over here and see if I can spot some coal. Yeah, we can spot some coal over there. That's really good for us early on, since power is going to be one of the hardest things we can get. Especially with the sun being so far away from us, it only provides us like 14 watts if we use solar panels, which we definitely aren't going to be using. So yeah, I think this is a really good spawn. Actually, I really like this area. It looks awesome. And you know, we don't have I don't think we have storms on Mimas. So yeah, we're just gonna grab this crate over here that contains our construction supplies, and we're gonna grab the frames, and there is no need for the duct tape yet. There is really nothing that can harm us over here. So yeah, let's see if we can figure out a place to get our station going. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that, and I think just right here is going to be okay. So yeah, let's go ahead and start doing this, shall we? So we're gonna zoop some frames. We're probably gonna do a 5x5 right here to begin with. And we're missing an extra row. There we go, that's our 5x5. And since there is no pressure here, we don't have to worry about what walls we use. They're purely aesthetic, at least for the outside, whereas for the inside we probably will have to. Can't really get over pressurized, otherwise we will blow the base from the inside out. And you know, I know a lot of people hate stations where you're basically using iron windows everywhere, but I really think the iron windows are what looks the best for us. So we're gonna be using iron windows whether you like it or not, and this is my station and you don't get a say. So this is what we will be doing. And let me go grab the rest of the walls before I place this last one, so then we don't have to deal with cycling to... Oh, I have the walls on me, look at me. Then we don't have to deal with cycling the windows and fixing their positions. And I am using a few quality of life mods, nothing that changes the gameplay too much. The only thing that really changes gameplay is that we can zoop cables and pipes and chutes. We can place multiple of them at the same time, basically. And that's about it. Now, I did forget how we were placing these walls. I think we were placing them facing up, if I remember correctly. And if it isn't, then we will just fix it. Actually, let's go ahead and take a look and see if I'm correct that we did place it facing upwards. I was correct. So yeah, we can just go ahead and finish constructing the station now. So we will finish up with the walls over here. And Mimas is a really, really cool world to play on. It is one of Saturn's moons. And we get an awesome... skybox. And this is going to be our entrance. So, yeah, I think we just did all the walls. Let's go ahead and do the roofs over here. We need to reinforce them with iron sheets before we can apply the glass sheets to them. One of the other reasons why I really like using glass for my base is that it gives us an extra thing to deal with in terms of heat management, which obviously our other bases, once we actually start expanding, aren't going to be fully made out of glass. I just like having the first station be fully made out of glass. It looks good. And basically that's about it, really. So yeah, let's go ahead and grab these construction supplies, bring them a little bit closer to us. We may or may not have enough sheets. We may need some more glass sheets, I'm not sure. Let's go ahead and turn on our power over here and start welding. I'm playing on the beta branch where they have just released a new networking update to the game. We're using the new brutal rocket network instead of the old rocket net, which apparently it's supposed to make desync issues better on servers. And obviously that doesn't impact us since we are playing single player. But we will, I mean, even on single player, the networking still sort of happens internally, so we will notice either some improvements or some bugs. But it seems like nobody else has reported any bugs regarding networking. So yeah. Alright, let's go ahead and get our auto lathe set up somewhere. We'll probably have it be perhaps all the way over here on this corner, but that does make it so that we have to run quite the long cables to begin with. So I think we're just gonna have it be in this corner over here, and we will need the what is called the iron frames to place an iron frame out here, which we are going to be using for the arc furnace. And we will have the arc furnace facing inwards and probably place it on this side over here. There we go. And let's go ahead and grab the iron sheets and the plastic sheets, and we will head on inside to weld our auto lathe, if I can find my welder. And then we need 4 cables, and then the plastic sheets, and then the screwdriver. There we go. So now we can just go ahead and run cables directly from this furnace over here to the auto lathe. Just like that. Now they're both connected together. And all we have to do now is start finishing the base up with glass sheets so that we can get it sealed up. Obviously, I did forget to single weld that frame that the arc furnace is sitting on. We will do that just momentarily now after. But first, we need a place that we can pressurize so that we can eat and drink before Ava starts yelling at us that we are hungry and thirsty. And it seems like we're gonna have just enough of glass sheets over here actually, which is great. It means we don't have to do any early mining to finish the base up. And here is a trick that you can do, which will help you if you're unsure that you've actually installed all the glass sheets on the walls. What you can do is that you will grab your crowbar and just run around hovering over all the walls, and if you have put the glass sheets on them, then they will get highlighted in yellow, and if you haven't, then they won't. Well, they might if you hover over exactly the edge of the wall, because then you will be able to take the iron sheets out of them, I think. Or maybe it was the welder. One of those tools. But either way, we have everything set. We just need to go grab the airlock supplies now. Which the airlock supplies are going to be in a khaki colored crate over here. And also notice the blue crate over there. That contains our Stirling engine supplies. The Stirling engine is a really good method of power. It just has to be set up correctly. And basically it works by you providing it hot gas and a cold atmosphere. And what it will do is that it will start working, and it will take the temperature, the heat from the hot gas, and then disperse it to the environment that it's in. So that's going to be a really good source of power for us if we don't want to rely on coal, which we probably will early on. We do have a lot of coal around here, and something I like about the Mimas start is that we actually get a battery, if I remember correctly. Maybe we don't. I thought we did. Maybe in the electrical supplies we get the battery. There we go. We have the station battery. So we can immediately get that set up actually. Let's go ahead and grab the electrical supplies. And we can start setting up our power infrastructure. Having a battery, a station battery this early on without us having to go through the effort of crafting steel is quite the luxury. Saves us a lot of time. So yeah. Now all I have to do is just grab a... We just need to put a frame over here, which I'm pretty sure I had the frames somewhere. Perhaps they're outside in this yellow crate. There they are. And let's go ahead and put a frame over here. And this frame, I'm pretty sure we can have a... not with the iron frames, with the steel frames, they have multiple... multiple structures within the kit. So we could have had a slope over here that leads us up, but we will deal with that soon. For now, this is what we need. This actually needs to be double welded because this is where the airlock door is going to sit on. And then we will need the walls. And yes, you guessed it right. We're going to be using glass walls. There we go. Which here might be the issue where we don't have enough iron sheets. But iron sheets are very easy to get. I mean, we already basically have everything we need to do that. So let's actually go ahead and do that, shall we? We'll grab one of these APCs. And all we have to do is that I'm probably going to have it be somewhere up here. Like that. And then let's grab the cables. And we're going to run the cables all the way over here for the input. Just like that. And then later on we'll have the... actually for the output. And then later on we'll have the input coming in from this side over here to charge the APC battery and to provide power to the network. For now though, let's go ahead and stick a battery in this. The APC is alive, and we just have to find a little bit of iron, which we do have all the way over there. I'm going to get away from the base a little before I start mining them, just to keep the terrain looking good. And then we don't have to deal with filling the terrain close by. So yeah, let's go ahead and grab this iron over here. I got a little confused. I was like, what is that? Making all pretty lights and stuff. And that's the global illuminations mod that Beef took it upon him to go ahead and fix, because it was broken for a while. And thank you, Beef, for that. I really love global illuminations in Stationeers. It should be a base game. But we know the devs, they care a lot about performance and everyone being able to play their game. So perhaps that's not on their agenda. Even though I feel like it should be you should be able to toggle it on and off, but maybe you can't. Either way, we've got some iron. We need to go ahead and stick the iron over here. And oh my god, did I make it hard for myself to work this furnace. Perhaps we should pull it out a little. There we go. Let's go ahead and stick that over here and cable it further out, and we can just turn on the furnace and look at these lights. Just look guys, like, this is awesome, you know that, right? But I think we get fuel. We get a fuel canister, which this fuel canister, if we actually just go ahead and immediately start working towards an arc welder, we can reuse this fuel for something much better. We can utilize it for a gas generator or something along those lines. Let's check out Stationpedia, see what it says. I don't think, I think it was called like maybe the gas flow generator. Gas fuel generator. What am I talking about? Gas flow generator, he says. But yeah, we can utilize the gas fuel generator. And since we are in a vacuum, we can actually work with the gas fuel generator very easily. The vacuum makes it much easier to cool down the environment for it than the other worlds. And I lost my train of thought over there just for a few seconds trying to figure out what I wanted to craft. But yeah, let's go ahead. Did we put a glass sheet over here? We did not. Let's go ahead and put a glass sheet on that wall. And what am I doing? Did I stop it from crafting? I did. Okay. So we need 2 more. There we go. That should be all for the top. And actually, we only needed 2, not 2 more. That's probably what I meant. But it is what it is. Let's go ahead and find the doors. The door kits are right here. And yeah, I'm probably not going to use the glass doors because then we can't build on the sides, on the corners. We can only build above them. But though the glass doors look so good, don't they? They would fit really well with the station, so I think we're gonna go with the glass doors. We're just gonna have to bite and figure out a fix for the issue. So what we need is the plastic sheets and then the glass sheets. Thankfully, we have just enough glass sheets for everything, actually. We're going to be left with 1 glass sheet, which we're going to be using for the console that we're going to place soon. And oh, look at that. I may have forgotten that we need to also have glass sheets for the walls. So I was wrong. We do not have enough glass sheets. We need to go and steal some silicon. And by steal, I mean mine. Because this planet is, well, this world, the moon, is my property. I claim it, and Everything on it, including myself, is my own property, and anyone that comes over here has to ask me for permission to land, otherwise we're going to fire missiles at them. Even though we don't have missiles and stationeers, I'm sure we can figure out a solution, right? Pressurize a few, over-pressurize a tank and just send it their way with a little bit of excess pressure in a room and, you know, kaboom. Either way, let's just go ahead and smelt this silicon over here. I'm really excited for designing intricate systems. It's been a long time since I did a proper Stationeers run. I've been spending most of my time on Stationeers just modding. And yeah, I mean, I feel like it is time for me to do a Stationeers run. Since the last time I did... last time I played Stationeers and I made videos, we were playing on Vulcan, and I was supposed to wait for the terrain update, and then they announced that the terrain update was gonna come out in like maybe a month or so. So I decided to end that series, and I just took all of the videos down. And in fact, I deleted the videos off of YouTube just to, you know, give them extra storage. What am I doing here? Glass sheets. So yeah, I was considering doing Venus yesterday, and I was like, yeah, probably not. And hopefully I'll be able to install the glass sheet over here. I don't know why we can't. Maybe we haven't supplied it an iron sheet or something. I thought we did. It looks like it has an iron sheet. But perhaps I'm... Simon, please fix. Alright. And if you guys don't know who Simon is, they are the lead developer for Stationeers. Anyway... Let us go ahead and get inside our base and start getting this airlock done. And honestly, I kind of want to go grab some oxides really quickly and then close the door so we can have them smelt. Even though that's not gonna happen, basically. The sun is just almost behind. So yeah, let's just go back, finish the airlock, and we'll just weld some ices into the base. So first order of business is to have a console over here. We're probably gonna have it facing down just like that, where the next order of business is to grab the airlock chip and stick it inside it, and then we're gonna take the remaining glass sheet and then apply it to the console. Then what we will do is that we're gonna have an APC, and this APC is what's going to supply the power in this airlock. But before we worry about that, up here is where we're going to have the active vent, which is going to be connected with a pipe, and then over here we're going to have the passive vent, just like that. Now there is a little risk of blowing this pipe up if it gets over pressurized. At least over pressurized in the sense where there's enough pressure, enough time for it to cool down in the vacuum, because half of this pipe is sticking in and half of it is sticking out. Well, looks like most of it is sticking out actually, but you know what I'm saying. Next up is the sensor, and the sensor, I will probably place the sensor perhaps like over here, just like that. And that's basically it. We're gonna take this data disk. There's really no use for it anymore. It's been deprecated. We have the screw on the side of the console now, where you can screw it in and out to switch it from the configuration mode to the functional mode. And someday over here, not someday, somewhere over here, we're gonna have the airlock. And I don't know, I kind of prefer having my APCs inside, but then that means we will have to have it somewhere like over here, because we can't have it too close to the wall. As far as I remember, if we go ahead and take out some cables, we won't be able to actually have cables over here, as you guys can see. The only way we can have cables is above. I think let's just stick the APC on the left side instead, where we'll probably just stick it over here like that. Why don't we just put it in the airlock? Why not? We are on Mimas after all. Power is quite the problem, which means that we may or may not run out of power. So yeah, I'm thinking probably up here. I freaking hate glass doors, man. They're quite obstructive. The only way we can have it be over here is if we place it in the middle. So yeah, I guess we're gonna place it in the middle. I mean, we can't really do anything about that unless we place it inside and waste cables, but we aren't going to do that. Not today. And then the rest we're going to take up and then do exactly what Zoop figured out, and then a corner into there and a corner into there. And then the rest is basically just straight cables to connect both the doors together. And then last but not least, just over here, we're going to connect everything. Just like that. So now whenever we turn on this APC, obviously once we provide it a battery, everything should be working. There we go. And what we will do now is just switch this console into configuration mode and turn it on. And let's see, are you the exterior door? No, you're the interior door. So you're the exterior door, you're the interior door, active vent sensor, and there we go. And I don't know why it's trying to pressurize. There's nothing to pressurize. Alright, so that's the door done. That's awesome. I think next order of business is probably to have the battery be somewhere. And perhaps... how about we place the battery over here? Maybe over here in this corner. Just like that. I guess we'll have some of the power working back there. And then we need the 2 steel sheets that come with this kit. And I'm just going to open up a window over here to let the gases we just released into the base vent out while we run some cables for this thing. Do we have more cables perhaps in the electrical supplies? We do. And hey, look at that. We actually get heavy cables, which we can use for the portable generator. So let's go out this wall that we just...
Bye, have a great time.
That we take away. And then let's just grab some steel sheets. Or some iron sheets. There we go. And now we will grab the portable generator. And don't mistake this for the solid generator. I don't know if we actually get a solid generator on, with the with this kit, with this start. I think we only get a portable generator and a Stirling engine. So we'll have to craft our own solid generator if we want to use coal for power, which obviously this early on we probably do. And let's grab the heavy cables over here, and we're just gonna run a heavy cable from here to here. Turn on the battery so that it can get charging, and then we'll grab some of the cables that we have over here. And that's basically it. Now what we have to do is we have to navigate around these cables. So I think probably the easiest way to do so is by going up. So let's go up. And then let's head outside, where we are going to corner into over here. And then let's zoop all the way to here. And then we're gonna remove this one. And we're gonna put a corner that goes like that. We'll have some floaty cables, but that's fine. And then another one, and then this one basically goes like that, and then connects into the APC. And then the same thing for that APC. I think we can just run straight through, and then we just will corner it downwards. Yeah, that's looking good. There we go. That is our cabling for now. And I realize it's not pretty, but it is functional. And what I'm going to do is just, I'm going to go ahead and turn on this portable generator. And why the hell is it not charging? You should be charging. You are attached. Is that the output perhaps that I connected it to? No, that's the input. I'm pretty sure that's the input. Yep. I think it probably was charging that battery. Yeah. So, where's the glass sheet? Let's go ahead and close the base up. Make sure we turn on this vent so we can get in. And then let's go ahead and turn it back on. And yeah, it's blinking blue. That means it's charging. Any second now, the actual big battery will start charging once these two batteries are charged. Now we are taking damage. We are actually at 90% health right now. So we're gonna go and grab some oxide. And then perhaps on the way we may or may not find copper. We need copper. And then we need gold. I already saw some gold back there. But we mostly need oxide right now to pressurize the base and have a breathable atmosphere where we can take out our water and boneless cereal bars for a snack. Sadly, that's what we're going to be having for quite a few days, Mr. Stationeer. So you better get used to it. And if you see me zooming in and out with the light, that is a mod that I made. That basically makes the headlamp on your helmet controllable by holding left control, or right control for that matter, and then scrolling in and out. It lets you adjust the beam by basically tightening and or widening it for a difference in the way it lights up the area. So if we widen it, it will be a less intense light, but it will light a lot more of area close to you. But if we tighten it, then it'll reach way further, meaning we can scan for ores that are way out of our visual range. But it will be brighter. So yeah, that's why you keep seeing my light go in and out of focus like that, is because I'm adjusting it so that I can scan for some ores around the base and find what I'm looking for. But we do have oxides, and that's actually enough oxides to get us way above 20 kilopascals inside the base. That's the limit that we have to be at before we can start breathing. Otherwise, the Ava suit is going to throw a warning at us and tell us that the pressure is low and that we may or may not be damaging our lungs. And let's go ahead and go back to the base, pressurize it, eat and drink so we can stop this Stationeer from breathing while it is 50,000 degrees over here. I've never seen anybody who's thirsty breathe like this. In fact, I feel like if anything, it's gonna make you way more thirsty if you keep breathing in and out like that. And yeah, I mean, I guess it is what it is, right? And let's see, it seems like we are still charging this battery. I'm gonna go ahead and steal the battery from the airlock and swap it with my own. And what we'll do is that we're gonna go ahead and throw like at least probably 3 stacks in the base, and then I'm just going to weld at once so that the oxides can start melting. Above 0, which we are in technically above 0 right now. I know it says 0 over there, but that's just due to float error. So yeah, we are technically above 0, and therefore we are smelting, or we are melting the ices that we just threw inside the base. There we go, the sun is upon us, and we have around 43 kilopascals in the base. We're gonna go ahead and unlock our helmet, because it was locked, and just gonna open it up. And the smell of just fresh air. The smell of newly welded plastic, newly welded iron, and some cables around, you know. Never gets old. I love it. I love it. Alright, there we go. And let's go ahead and take our suit off for a bit. Relax. In the meantime, let's go ahead and consider what we want to do next. Perhaps we want to start working on getting the other machines, specifically the electronics printer, so that we can get a solid generator. Because the Stirling engine does need quite a bit of a setup, and I don't want to sit and experiment with it without having a source of power to drive our station. Not that we have anything really that's too important for us apart from the machines, but you know, we only need those when we're crafting, so we don't have like any grow lights or plants going for us yet, so there's really nothing, not much of a need for power yet apart from our suit, which that we are dealing with right now. And yeah, let's go ahead and start. I think I have a plan. We probably want to go out and mine while we are out here. Go ahead and close the suit, turn on the AC, turn on the air, turn on the filters, and let's head on outside, where we are going to bring... I'm gonna go ahead and throw this one piece of oxide over here. We don't need it. Release it to the world. We're going to bring some more iron. We're gonna bring some copper, which we have right in front of us over there. Right, we've got 2 stacks of copper. Let's grab some gold. We need at least 2 gold per machine. And the first machine that we want to go ahead and get as soon as possible, like I said, is the electronics printer. Because once we have the electronics printer, we don't have to waste the fuel mix that we have in that orange tank that I showed you earlier. It's somewhere up in one of those bays up there in the lander. Alright, let's go ahead and get the copper we need. We still have around 3 megapascals in this fuel canister over here, so we've got a bit before it dies out, and then we have to have another source of generating power, which once we get the copper, I think we only need like perhaps 10 copper for a machine. So electronics printer right here. Yes, 10 copper, 20 iron, 2 gold. So that's already enough copper for one machine. We're gonna go ahead and get the 2 gold that we need, and we will head on outside. We'll head on inside and craft us an electronics printer. There we go. That should be enough gold. We can keep the gold in there. We just need to turn off the arc furnace because the light the light from the light switch actually uses power. So yeah, and since we're heading inside, we don't need to let the airlock finish pressurizing. We can just cancel it. All right, all right. So yeah, gold goes in, copper goes in, and let's get an electronics printer. That's going to be my priority for now. There we go. Our electronics printer has finished crafting. So let's go ahead and turn off the auto lathe over here, get some lights going. And we're just going to place the electronics printer right next to the auto lathe. And what we have to do is we actually need a sheet, which if I'm not fast enough, it's going to get swallowed by that machine, by the input over there. And that's exactly what happened. But that is not an issue. We will get it back once we finish crafting this electronics printer. I am looking for the plastic sheets, which are here somewhere. Those are going to be the next step in the construction recipe. And then last but not least is the screwdriver. And then we just have to connect everything over here. Just like that. And we can go ahead and turn it on. Now, a solid generator is 50 iron and 10 copper, which I'm pretty sure we don't have enough iron or copper. So we're gonna go ahead and head outside, start crafting some iron and copper. So yeah, let's go ahead and go to our furnace, our lonely furnace out here, and let's get a stack of iron going, shall we? There we go, there's our furnace done. Now we just need the copper, so let's get a stack of copper going. Alright, I think our furnace is just about to be done with the copper. 16 copper left. I'm just going to turn the furnace on and off so I can grab the copper that I already smelted and head back inside. And remember the idea that I spoke about in the intro, where we said we want to have a power system, we want to have an electrical system where we want to rely on the grid as much as possible. So we want to rely on active power generation rather than on the batteries, and any excess power that we are generating, we want to divert it to the batteries instead. And then if the grid ever fails us, then we have batteries that we can rely on until we can fix the grid or perhaps improve its power generation. But that's basically that's one of the ideas that drove me towards Mimas, because Mimas, the power in Mimas, it's quite hard, especially with there being no wind and the solar power being only 14 watts basically on with 100% max efficiency. So yeah, it's really not much at all, and the only way for us to currently have power is by smelting, is by burning coal. And burning coal, you basically need to have a coal mining outpost, or you gotta like constantly be mining, or you gotta constantly mine coal manually with the drill. Which, you know, who wants to do that? Who wants to waste their time constantly mining coal to power their station? So we have to figure out a way to not do that. And there's a few ways that I'm thinking about. We obviously can work with the gas fuel generator, because we do have a lot of volatiles. We do have a lot of oxides in the on the moon here on Mimas. Which means basically we can take that pink rock all the way over there in the distance. If you can see it, it's kind of shining. And then we can take the blue rocks that we found earlier, the oxide ices, one of these, and then we can combine them together. And basically what happens is that we create a fuel mix, and depending on how balanced the fuel mix between the two gases, we can efficiently start generating power with the gas fuel generator. The only thing with the gas fuel generator that is usually the problem that most people hit is that they don't know how to keep it going, because it heats up its environment really quickly, and it also needs an atmosphere. and it only operates between a range of temperature, and if you exceed that temperature, the generator will stall. So basically, for us, that I don't think that's going to be an issue. I have a few plans on how we're going to have a big, outpost for cooling the gas fuel generators. But for now, let's head back on outside. I do want to grab the heavy cables. Actually, do we have any gold left? I don't think so. I don't know where the gold went, actually. Oh yeah, we do. We have 2 grams of gold. And we have 4 cable coils. I need to turn on my suit. But I think we should have enough heavy cables to connect it up to this battery over here. If we can squeeze it somewhere over here in this corner. I think it's peeking into the base like that. Just a slight bit of it is peeking into the base. I don't know if that's going to be a problem, so we're not going to do that. We're going to place it back here. And then basically we're going to take our wire cutters and then we are going to run cables all the way over here. And look at that, we have just enough cables to hook it up to the network. Where basically now, if we go ahead and... you know what? We don't need the portable generator here anymore. So we could technically go ahead and remove that, but we're not going to do that. Let's go ahead and split this coal. We're going to split half this coal. We're going to put it inside the generator, and then we're going to turn the generator on. And it's going to consume that coal and start generating power much, much faster than what this portable generator was generating before. So let's go ahead and check it out with the tablet using the network analyzer, and you can see that right now we are filling it up pretty quickly. The station battery has 1.5 megawatts left until it fills up, and you can see how fast we are filling it up. And I think, how many coals do we have left in there? We got around 300 kilowatts of power, so we should technically fill it up. I think we will get close to filling it up. We won't fully fill it up. We may have 200 kilowatts that... Oh, look at that. We might actually fully get it. Oh, that was perfect. That was actually perfect. Alright, so we have the station battery filled up to the brim. In fact, it's so filled it has turned blue, and we also have some copper over here that we're gonna throw into the airlock. And this is looking really good. This is looking really good. I'm actually quite surprised by how much coal there is. Mimas is not known for having too much coal, so perhaps there was a change where they increased the coal spawn. Because before the terrain update, I remember there being little to no coal on this world. So yeah, I mean, it's still, we are still up for the challenge, right? We still have to provide ourselves with a pure, a quote-unquote pure source of energy. It won't be pure if we rely on fuel or on coal. One other way, the other way we can do is by basically, instead of us relying on volatiles and oxides to create a fuel mix, what we can do is that we will have a farm. We will need to have quite a big farm, and then we will automate it with what is called a Larry. And Larry basically runs on a rail system that you build for it, and then we have to program it to tell it, hey, come to this planter over here, and then harvest the plant, and then plant another seed. Or we don't actually have to have a Larry at all. We just need to have a big farm that has plants that generate a high amount of oxygen, and then we can use the oxygen that it generates. As long as we provided the necessary requirements to keep the plant alive, then we never have to harvest it. We can keep it there generating oxygen for us. And then we can have another farm where we will have something harvesting, where basically we take the harvested product and then we put it through a composter, and then the composter will compost the plants, and then the plants will generate gases from being composted, and one of those gases is going to be volatiles. So then we can take the volatiles and then the oxygen from our other farm and then mix them together to create a fuel source for our gas fuel generators. Then also what we can do is that after we start running a few gas fuel generators, we will take the heat that they release into the atmosphere and we are going to run them through the Stirling engines, where basically it requires a cold side and a hot side. We run the hot gases generated from the solid generator into the Stirling's engine's hot side, right? And then what happens is that the hot gas that flows in ends up getting heat exchange with the cold side, so with the cold gas that we have, until we basically cool down the gases, and then we can harvest them and perhaps use them for the farm because they will contain a lot of CO2. So that's the plan for now, and I think we have got a solid start. The only thing that's left for me to do is probably wrap up this episode and get working on it, and then start the next episode where we will I will probably have a plan on what we will do next, but it's probably going to be along the lines of getting all the crates in and then organizing a little, and then perhaps putting some lights in the station, etc. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It's been Lorex, this is Stationeers. Make sure to check it out on Steam and itch.io. I'll leave the links down in the description. The developers are awesome, and I am one of the main modders. In fact, I run the modding Discord for this game. So if you liked this hidden gem of a game, make sure to check it out. It's actually currently on sale, and it's going around for $22. Either way, enough talking. I'll see you guys later in the next episode. See ya!